So you have teachers that are just going in
Yes.
and sitting basically silently
Yes.
with the prisoners for, what, half an hour or an hour? Or
Well, we only have about 3 who do that. Those are
Okay.
just meditation-only teachers.
Yeah.
And they are doing that because they've been in a long sitting practice. Actually, they're all Zen practitioners.
Right.
So I'm very, very happy with that, and my colleagues are. But most of the teachers are qualified yoga teachers. They will go and they'll teach either an hour and a half class or a 3-hour class, whatever the prison wants. And they will help the prisoners reduce the tension and stress in their body through asana work, which is posture work, quite strong asana work, and then some relaxation to really relax the body, some good pranayama, some good breathing practice, and then they're perfectly prepared to sit quietly and get into silence. What most prisoners ask us for is, please, can we sit in meditation? It's very interesting.
So they actually really want to come to the class
Very
to be
much
peaceful.
So. Very much
Yeah.
so. They long for peace and quiet.
Yeah, I can understand that actually. Yeah. And what's the reaction to the prison warders to this? Because I guess some are open and some are not so open.
Yes.
It must be quite strange for a prison warder to think, I've got my prisoners meditating.
Yes.
Must be a very different world for them.
Yes.
What kind of reaction and response do you get from them?
Well, as you say, it's all different. You know, being a prison officer requires very highly developed interpersonal skills. If I said that with a lot of prisoners, they'd probably roar with laughter. But if you don't have fairly developed interpersonal skills, you'd be in a fight from morning to night. Unfortunately, because of the old system of how prison officers were trained, a great deal of their day is spent being bored or being in extremely dangerous situations where they're practicing control and restraint, or they're cutting somebody down who's tried to commit suicide.
Yeah.
The next minute they're having to open the cell to that person in the morning, or the next moment they're trying to read a letter to that person who doesn't read. The range of things they have to do is enormous.
Yeah.
And of course, all day long, they're getting abuse from extremely distressed, vulnerable, and often violent people who are in nowadays very overcrowded conditions. So inevitably, they themselves give back a lot of abuse. So it's a very difficult arena, and we're trying to work with them far more because, first of all, if you want to come to a yoga class, you've physically got to be unlocked from your cell. So if your prison officer is not interested in yoga or is too busy doing something else, he's not going to unlock you. So you've got your teacher here, he wants to teach you yoga, and you have your prisoner here, he's longing to meet his teacher, but you can't physically get through the wall.
Yes,
so
yeah.
we've got 30 classes now for prison officers, and I'm very happy to say that they find it a great help in their own stress levels.
So when you say classes for the officers, it's very similar, that it's yoga and it's meditation.
Exactly the same.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, another problem that prison officers have is that it's very hard for them when they go home to their families because they can't switch off.
It must be, that's right, yeah.
So all prison officers' families say that that is one of the things that they've had to cope with, the change in their father or their husband, to understand that their lives are very stressful.
And presumably the prison warders must realise that if the prisoners are doing yoga and meditation, it probably makes them easier to look after. There's probably less violence. There's probably less reaction to the warders. Is that the case?
Well, I had a letter from a prison officer last week of a lovely woman, actually. She wrote a very beautiful letter to say how much she loves working with people who come on the yoga class because she sees how cooperative they are and just how engaged they are in the programs that the prison run. Actually, I liked very much having a letter from a man once who said that there was this guy walking down the wing and he always had a smile on his face, and he said, I don't know what he's on, but I want some of that. And he said, I think you can perhaps give me a book or two that can help me with that.
So we just have a minute or two left now, Sandy. Is it presumed the trust is expanding? You're training more teachers the whole time and They're
Yes.
getting in more prisons?
We've got 156 classes all over the UK
Right.
in different prisons and in ERA now. We have an Irish link and a Scottish link, which is run by prison teachers who are wonderful coordinators. They are voluntary, doing a wonderful job for us. So half of our work is replying to prisoners' letters, encouraging them to sit and do a
Right.
yoga practice every day in their cells. Half of our work is trying to support them in prisons
Right.
with teachers.
Thank you. That's great. So thank you for watching Conscious TV, and thank you for listening about with Sandy Chubb about the Prison Phoenix Trust. If you'd like to know more about the Trust, we're running their website address at the bottom of the screen now. And we're running 2 more programs, actually, one with 2 ex-prisoners, talking about, for them, how yoga and meditation is, and also with 3 other yoga teachers who teach in prisons. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.